Hello, everyone. I am Veronica, and I am one half of House of Tease. And this is,
I'm Desiree Macedo. I'm the other half of House of Tease. Welcome back.
and yes, and some of you may or may not know, but this is the return of House of Tease after a very long hiatus. And we wanted to do this video so that we could kind of explain where we've been, what we see in the future, and what we're all about.
And what House of Tease is for all of you who are just tuning in. What we started this 11 years ago in 2000, not 11 years ago in 2000. Oh my God, sorry.
2012, 2013.
Yeah,
It was
we started it
it
a
was
long
10
time
years
ago.
ago.
Was it 10 years ago?
2012.
I thought we started in 2011.
Oh, was it? Or
Yeah,
maybe
it
because
was
we when we
2011.
first moved into the apartment.
Yeah, we lived in Astoria, New York, if anyone's
Hmm.
familiar.
Yes, and we had a little, a little channel back then, and there was just a lot of things that kind of happened that prevented us from moving forward, but that's what this video is about, and we're going to talk about it. Um, so right now I'm currently recording this from Las Vegas, and Desiree, where are you?
I'm in Houston, Texas.
Yeah, so we're doing this like apart.
We're trying to figure it out. It took
We're
us a
trying,
while
guys,
to
it
get
literally
here.
took hours to like even get this up and running. So please bear with us while we deal with technical difficulties and
Mm,
um
we're still
quality
figuring it
issues.
out.
That's what I was trying to say.
Correct. Quality
Forgive us
issues.
on quality issues because we are trying to figure out. This is our first time, even with me, even though I've had like YouTube channels in the past and I've done a lot of like social media. Like this is my first time doing like a video podcast, so
Mm,
I am learning as well. For the first video, we're gonna like kind of answer questions, like pretty general questions about House of Teas and where we've been and who we are, while we do a little makeup look.
yay.
And yeah, because that's what we do. We're both makeup artists. We love the glam. We love beauty and fashion. So this is
We're gonna
how
do
we're
a
gonna try to
little,
incorporate it.
yeah, we're gonna do a little get ready with me. We're not gonna really like name the products. We're just like getting ready as we
Right,
discuss what happened with our fallout and what made us reunite again and what made us bring House of Teas again.
girl. Okay.
Can we begin?
Yes, please.
Okay, first question is, who are you?
Oh, girl. That's a loaded question.
Do
So
you
do
want
I
to
go?
start? You can start.
Oh my God, I'm putting on my sunscreen.
Okay, fine, I can go first.
Okay, go first.
Again, my name is Desiree. I am born and raised here in Houston, Texas. I am a recent transplant from New York. I lived in New York for 12 years. That's where I met Veronica through a mutual friend. Back in 2010, that's when we met, and we hit it off immediately. I went there to pursue, to go to school. I got accepted to FIT, which was a big, big like moment in my life, especially being trans, that I was going to this like prestigious fashion school.
Wait, you're
Um,
trans?
oh my God, you didn't know?
Oh my God.
Not me outing my own self. But
Right.
yeah, I went to New York to go to school, and I stayed for 12 years. I never looked back. I got a one-way ticket and I loved it. I love my time in New York. And I did makeup. I obviously worked for a company that everyone worked for, and I did a lot of fashion week moments during makeup, and I do weddings now here and there. And yeah, now I want to fully focus on House of Teens. Damn, she's
Nice.
really putting on that foundation.
I girl, I ain't playing. But anyway, so I'm Veronica. Hello. Yes, as Desiree said, me and her met back in the day in New York City. At the time I was already living in New York for maybe like 3 or 4 years. And she was new. So I met her when she was fresh off the boat from Houston,
Literally.
Texas.
Literally.
Literally. And we were introduced through a mutual friend that I went to high school with. And yeah, we totally hit it off, and it's ironic that that mutual friend just like ended up not cutting it in New York City.
Literally, he was there for like a month. He
And like
jetted,
gave up because
gave
New
up.
York is a tough city and it's not forgiving, and you have to have you have to be a certain type of person to live in New York City. You know what I mean? You cannot not want to live there for like a second. You have to really want to live there.
And you have
You
to
know?
know what you're giving up too.
Yes, you're
I
giving
had
because you give up
many,
so
so much, yes. I had many conversations with him prior to moving because keep in mind, like, I was up in like the latest, like the most brand new apartment complex in like the middle of the city, and I knew what I was giving up just to go to New York and live there in Astoria in like a four-bedroom railroad type of like house, you know? And
right.
I told him, I kept telling him, listen, we're not going to New York to be glamorous. Like, yeah, we'll get there eventually, but it's not going to be like that for the first few years.
Yeah, it's a huge jump from like what most people are used to um going to New York, because you have everything's like I always tell people that living in New York is kind of like manual, meaning you do everything yourself. There's no help, there's no car for you to jump into, there's not, groceries, you just don't throw it into the back of your car and call it a day. Like you
Oh,
carry
God,
all those
no.
things. You have to like travel to the grocery store. You have to like take those bags onto the subway and go up 2 or 3 flights of stairs sometimes, you know?
Two or three, girl. It was four or five.
Yes, carrying like two heavy ass bags from Trader Joe's. So, anyway, I'm a makeup artist. I'm also a singer, and I was a singer once upon a time in a past life. Will it ever come back and resurface? I don't know. If the
Hmm,
opportunity ever arises, it could happen. You never
it
know.
could
I don't know.
happen.
It could happen.
This could bring it
Someone
for
needs.
us.
I'm sorry.
This could bring it, for
Right, and then,
existence.
somebody needs to defeat Kim Petras. So
Which, by the way, congratulations, Kim Petras, on your Grammy. Hello?
Oh, that worked. Whatever you did. Not more technical difficulties. It's the never ending.
Ugh, it's never ending. Okay,
Right.
so you were saying we met.
I forgot, girl. So yeah, we like hung out. I introduced Desiree to the New York scene, and we became close friends. And I've never in my life had a trans friend. So it was a unique situation for me to meet somebody who was going through what I was going through. And I thought that was like really cool.
Same. Well, I've had trans friends, but like not with the same values, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. Isn't it sad that it's hard to find other trans girls with the same values?
It really is.
I hate it. I hate it.
So I think that's why we clicked right away because when we talked, we just had like very like aside from the trans relatable things that we went through, we were talking about other things that we wanted in life, and I've never had that type of conversation with my other trans girlfriends ever. So I felt like I was like, "Oh my God, finally someone who's trans who thinks like me."
Right. And those are few and far between, believe it or not, people. And then I'm sure people are wondering, like, what are those values? Or what is it that a lot of trans women that we don't relate with? And for me, it was hard to find somebody or to find a trans friend that wasn't a trying to compete with you or trying
Correct.
to take your man or try to
Ooh,
somehow like
girl.
yeah, like try to ruin you in some way. Like it was
Yeah,
always jealousy, competition, always using their sexuality at the forefront instead of like their talent or skills or their morals. It was always like sexualized. Everything was sexualized from the beginning. So I always kept my distance from trans women like that. You know what I mean?
yeah. And it's sad to say that because it's like these are supposed to be our sisters and like,
Right.
you know, it almost feels bad that we're like talking shit, but we're not. We're just keeping it real. Like this is what our experiences were at that time.
Right. Because it was
And
just, I mean, what fun is that to be friends with somebody and then they're always trying to outdo you? You know, that's
that
not
is
friendship,
that's no,
you know?
it's not.
Or they're trying to like, every time you would go out, it was always like, who can get the most attention? Who can get the most guys? Who can
Oh,
get the most compliments? Who can, it's just, oh, can we like just not? Okay? Can we
yeah.
just have fun and like hang out?